you gotta pay respect to Punch Drunk Love. And it's really just fantastic because, again, it's using his strengths, but also his vulnerability, his beauty, his sweetness. And Sandler's just so good in this movie.
Yeah.
There is those jokes. There is the volcanic rage of like breaking down the bathroom and breaking it apart and then denying it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
That wasn't me.
yeah, exactly.
And then he's like, I can't prove it to you.
Your hand is bleeding, right? Isn't that what he says?
I'm going to ask you to leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome to Director's Take. This is the podcast where we ask directors to talk about someone else's movie for a change. I'm Becky Deanna.
I'm John Lobinger. Today we're talking about one of the foundational movies in my young adult life. I was obsessed with the 1990s Adam Sandler films, but my favorite has long been Punch Drunk Love, Paul Thomas Anderson's 2002 romantic anxiety attack of a masterpiece. And I'm so excited to have Benny Safdie on to discuss this movie with.
Yes, the film that showed the world that Adam Sandler was not only such an amazing comedian, but also like a wonderfully gifted actor too. And now with director, writer, and producer Paul Thomas Anderson back in theaters with his latest movie, One Battle After Another, it seems kind of like the most perfect time to revisit one of his landmark films.
And who better to discuss Punch Drunk Love than Benny Safdie, an actor, director, writer, someone who's worked with both Adam Sandler and Paul Thomas Anderson?
Yeah, Benny Safdie, the director, writer, and producer and editor of The Smashing Machine, which I really dug, as well as the movies he made with his brother Josh, including Good Time and, of course, Uncut Gems, or as Julia Fox likes to call it, Uncut Jams. And I especially adored Benny Safdie in acting roles for Oppenheimer and Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. He was so endearing in that one. I think that might be my favorite Benny Safdie role.
Becky, you know the only thing I love more than autumnal-themed horror films is movie lists. And there are two Adam Sandler movies that made the New York Times Top 100 of the 21st century. Punch Drunk Love at 56, which we're talking about today, and Uncut Gems at 58. I think Punch Drunk Love is basically perfect. You could take any aspect. Let's just go with the sound design and the soundtrack by John Bryan. Surprising, beautiful, propulsive. Supporting cast. I mean, oh my gosh, what an amazing supporting cast. Emily Watson as Lena, Luis Guzman as Lance, and of course, the late, great Philip Seymour Hoffman as the mattress man, Dean Trumbull.
John, I feel like you have a confession to make right now. Like, what is your confession?
My confession is that I've owned Barry Egan's suit since 2002, so I'm glad I've been saving it for today when I could finally bust it out.
You finally had time to wear it, break it out. I think that blue suits are going to go through the roof now because everyone's going to like see how dapper you are and want one.
I'm channeling my Super Barry, so bathrooms everywhere. Watch out. It's going to be a great conversation.
But before we get to Benny, we should also say that you can get Punch Drunk Love now on digital or pick it up on disc. Hi, Benny. Welcome to Director's Take.
Hello. I'm glad to be here.
So I think first we want to talk about why you picked this movie, Punch Drunk Love, to celebrate. I want to see if we can go back in time a little bit to like when you first saw this movie. What was your first impressions of it? Was it formative? Why do you love it?
It's so funny. I was as I was like rewatching it. This is so embarrassing. When she calls him downstairs and says like, "Hey, I really wanted to give you a kiss." I remember actually doing that. Like when I didn't do something, I was like, I called somebody and I was like, "Oh," and it was just like it's embarrassing. So in that sense, like formative, yes. But I remember watching it and just like not realizing because like at that point I was a massive Sandler fan from his movies, and then realizing that like, oh wow, here's somebody who took the things that were so awesome about him and funneled them into this other form of expression, and it's like hour and a half. It's just like race through this. And it's so filled with characters, and it's just. But you really, at the same time, you live and you understand this guy, and it's so beautiful, and the way the camera moves is unreal. And it was just like for me, it's like I feel like it's my duty because like after Uncut Gems with Sandler, like you gotta pay respect to the first, which is like Punch Drunk Love, and it's like the performance that he got with Sandler that Paul does and. it's really just fantastic because, again, it's using his strengths, but also his vulnerability, his beauty, his sweetness. And Sandler's just so good in this movie.
Yeah.
The way he tells that story with like DJ Justice and his hand.
I just love this guy because he tells it the way it is. He's not a phony. And this guy calls up and he's talking about his senior quote. And so DJ Justice says, "What was your senior quote? What was so great about it?" He says, "I stole an ancient proverb." And so he says, "Okay," and he says, "Confusion say." And then DJ Justice says, "Confusion or Confucius?"
It's funny. There's so much love in this movie, and Philip Seymour Hoffman is just like out of control. You know, it's really just insane. Like his hair, where he works, and again, the way that the camera's moving is something that, like, when I watched it again, it was just like. It's so deliberate, but at the same time, it's like it's still catching. You still feel that it's trying to catch up to people, you know?
Benny, you've worked with Paul Thomas Anderson on Licorice Pizza, and you obviously, as you said, directed Adam on Uncut Gems, one of my favorite movies.
Thank you.
Have you ever spoken to either one of them about Punch Drunk Love and about working on this film?
Yes, I literally just texted Sandler a picture of himself as Barry Egan, being like, "This is the greatest," and because it's like it really is, and like the blue suit in Gems is from Barry Egan. You know, that's like where that comes from. Like it was subconscious. We're like, why does he look so good in a navy, like in a bright navy blue suit? And you're like, oh yeah, that's why. It's because it's imprinted into my brain.
Is that the suit he wears when he goes to the auction?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
That's the Barry
cool.
Egan suit.
Hell yeah.
And he's on the phone. He's got the same. It's a sim. There's a lot. You know, that like you can't help but be inspired. You know.
It's crazy because in the beginning of this movie, it's so interesting because the way they play the music and when he goes into his sister's house and like you see that like the anxiety is so ratcheted up. Like you can see where it's like he's trying to go in and the sisters are just teasing him and it's like kind of emotional abuse in a way.
Yeah.
And you're just like you're getting anxiety being a part of it. And I think the music sort of helps. It makes sense why he kind of breaks the glass. Like it's like a bomb goes off.
For sure.
In a way.
And it's the two things are working together to make you feel something as an audience, you know?
Yeah.
And there was one thing I noticed this time, which just was like when he's in the supermarket and you see the camera moving very smoothly and you hear the footsteps though of his feet. So it's like click, 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 but the camera's like gliding as perfectly as it ever does in the whole movie. And I just thought, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah.
And then after that scene, I think is like my favorite lines where when he's confessing to like, Robert Smigel.
Oh my God, that's the greatest thing. I'm a dentist.
Yeah, I know. But like when he says like, it really hit me this time when I rewatched it when he's like, I don't know if there's anything wrong with me because I don't know how other people are.
Yeah, that's the truth.
So, God, I'm like, I've been that way too. I'm like, wait, am I like everyone else? Like, that was so relatable and really just a powerful line.
Can you help me?
Barry, I'm a dentist. What kind of help do you think I can give you?
I know. Maybe you know other doctors?
Like a psychiatrist?
I just don't have anybody else I can talk to about things, and I understand it's confidential with the doctor. And I don't want my sisters to know, okay? Because I'm embarrassed about this.
All right. Barry, if it's about getting a phone number for a psychiatrist, I can do that. It's not a problem. But what exactly is wrong?
I don't know if there is anything wrong because I don't know how other people are.
The way he kind of like has to deal with his shame in this movie, I think is really beautiful. And it's really sad to watch a guy like this feel ashamed and to see that, you know, and have him hiding things from people and all of that's in this movie, you know, and it's just, and to the way people make fun of him to feel bad for his shame, you know, and that's what fuels him to go even deeper because, and again, like, you could connect that to like what I just did, where it's all about shame about things and hiding yourself and how that really makes your life get worse. if you keep holding that inside. But then at the same time, it's like, yeah, there's moments of intense humor and so funny and such like the fact that he goes to the wrong place. You know, it's like he can't even like he gets the phone call and he's like, I'm going to go find her. And he can't find her. I'm like, that's the greatest thing in the world that of course he can't find her. It's a complicated building. And but he shows
like
2 steps, 3 steps of like before he gets there so that when he does get there and it's the perfect camera move where it's like straight out of like an old Hollywood movie where it's just like perfect push in right onto them. And you're just like, oh man.
Oh, the greatest payoff.
Yeah.
All those exit signs, it's like
yes,
it's like if
flat. He's going nowhere when he runs, you know, which is like he's running away from you, and it's just like this flattened frame, and he's not getting. It's like, where is he?
It's simultaneously, like you said, like an MGM musical, like Singing in the Rain, but also it's like a Franz Kafka short story. Like,
yes,
this guy is never gonna find her.
These are things I noticed on this last watch, like the third man shadow. Like when he's running away,
nice.
Like there are these really beautiful throws to like this old style of movies, you know, but also with this new sensibility that he was bringing, and it's just an incredible movie. Philip Seymour Hoffman's so funny in this, and so aggressive, and so mean, and it's just like just even the fact that like. They agree, and then he has to like show off in front of his friends, and he gives one last like "get the out of here," and he like instantly backs down. Yeah, he backs down like okay, it's just like. But
so
those
funny.
moments are what really make it. Is that like the fact that it doesn't end when he leaves the room? It ends with seeing a guy trying to preen his feathers and have to put him down. You know, it's like you're seeing these other moments after the moments that you should normally end on. And that's what makes it awesome.
Yeah, I like how Philip Seymour Hoffman's character, like he realizes, oh my God, this guy drove all the way here. That's when he's like, oh, wait.
Yeah, this is crazy. He's still got the phone. Yeah. And he's like, okay, this guy is maybe somebody I shouldn't mess around with.
Yes,
but then he still can't help himself.
PTA's pretty upfront about the fact.
We lost my colors.
Now
it's showing the tree.
Oh no, a tree. Well,
let me go bring it back. Hold on.
Yes,
okay, we got it. We got to get it back.
You got to keep that in.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just so funny. I saw an article last night. I was just looking at some research, and I didn't know that the Inside Out 2, I guess for the like Pixar picked like the whole like memory sequence, the colors. It was inspired by Punch Drunk Love and those colors. Yeah, I had no idea. It was amazing. I love that like these animators and all these people are affected by this movie that it seeps into different.
Just to cut to the colors.
Yeah.
It's just like, what a move. It's like, what a move to do that. What a move. What's really awesome about it is I get a similar vibe like watching Happy Gilmore or Billy Madison.
I actually was going to ask you about that because I feel like John and I were talking about how Barry Egan's sort of like this contradiction, this fascinating contradiction, because he's repressed and he's gentle, but he's also like totally explosive. And I wanted to ask you if you saw any DNA between this Barry Egan character and like his former roles, like Billy Madison.
Oh, for sure. You know, it's like Billy Madison has the heart of gold. He cares about all the kids. That's the element. Like, and like Big Daddy, you know, like there's these elements of like true care and love, but mixed in with a guy who can get like a hammer to his foot, you know, and it's like he doesn't feel anything, you know. It's really there is that part of him that I find really awesome, and it's very clear in Punch Drunk Love that's there, you know, that like there is those jokes. There is the volcanic rage of like breaking down the bathroom and breaking it apart and then denying it.
Yeah,
you know, it's like,
that wasn't me.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he's like, I can't prove it's you.
Your hand is bleeding, right? Isn't that what he says?
I'm going to ask you to leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Sir, your hand is bleeding.
I know.
I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Yeah, but I didn't do anything.
Sir, I've got no way to prove that you smashed up the bathroom.
I didn't do that. I didn't.
And it's so funny, and it's sweet, and it's like all of those Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, Bobby Boucher, Waterboy, like Barry Egan is those people with soul,
Yes.
And like post-therapeutic, like whoever directed this has been to therapy before. That sort
Yeah.
of version of Adam Sandler's character. But when he yells at his sister, and it's
Oh
so
my God.
funny, and then he says, "I'll kill you," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Bro, did he just?"
Yeah. He
Whoa.
goes.
And she
he
goes,
to
do you
place-
want that? And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it's really the way that he, the way that he just kind of starts out calm and then he gets into that growl, and it's like, but also like the cutting is so deliberate when it gets close, when he spins around and he's got to talk into the phone, there's all that really like that element only helps those moments, the fact that like we're going close when he gets into that screaming match,
And then when Lena finally does pick up the phone and he finally does make that connection, like the universe is no longer blocking him from
the fact that
Lena.
he gets to the wrong
light
room.
turns on. The light
Yes,
turns on.
yes, exactly. The fact that he gets the wrong room is really, again, like I love that the fact of this, like
This is so funny. And he's
Yeah.
like, can I
Wait, do you have a
connect
boyfriend?
to- yeah, exactly. Or
Yeah.
like, can we get connected to the room? There shouldn't be a man in her room.
But yeah, so it's just the idea that like, there are obstacles in his way and we see them, Also, even the way that the car crash happens, it happens different than you expect. They're just coming in and it's in a wide shot and the car gets hit and then you have that beautiful kind of ballet when they're in the car, And it's just really
And the little bit of blood that you see, like, oh she's hurt.
and that's what sets him off.
Yeah.
It's like, again, it's like seeing the connection there.
There's no amount of blood in any horror film that is as vivid or as like just hits you to your core than when you see that one drop go down her forehead.
It's also the look in her eyes is so dazed. Like you could see the concussion. Yeah, she's amazing in this too.
Yeah,
She's also like, she's also got her own stuff that she's dealing with. She's awkward,
Yeah.
She doesn't necessarily know how to like deal with the situation. I love that you find out that she was married, like on the phone call, were you married? Can we talk about this in person? It's like,
It's so
it's like
funny.
just the level of anxiety that he feels around another woman in this case, because that's who he's attracted to. That part of it was just like, you really feel that, that like, that's hard for him. And it's something he struggles with but he does overcome it,
But what's amazing about it is that when you watch the movie, he's actually teasing us a little bit. Like, hey, at the beginning, there's a car crash, a random car crash, and then a harmonium gets dropped off.
Yes.
And then at the end, when Dean Trumbull comes out and is like, screw you, and then he says, you better say that's that. That movie could have gone into another 90 minutes if he hadn't said that's that.
Oh, for sure.
And so
yeah.
PTA is sort of teasing us like, hey, just to let you know, there is an entire universe in here. I could stretch this out on you, give you the foreground, give you the epilogue, but I'm gonna rein it in on you.
I'm gonna disagree there. I think what happens is if he didn't say that's that, he would have punched him in the face and knocked him flat out on the ground and then walked out. That's how I feel like that would have ended, just because that's how he reacted. Okay, you win. But the truth is that whole other side of the story is so lived in you're right. You could easily had a full parallel path where you're seeing him run that whole weird empire that he's got going on. Where they're playing the rock music at one point. It's like, like what is this place?
What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, like is it a bar as well as a mattress
Yeah,
store? Like is it's like something
It's
out of
really-
David Lynch, like out of Twin Peaks, where it's it's a bar and it's also got a speakeasy in the back where people speak in. It's wild.
At a barbershop. She's just
Yeah.
cutting his hair.
Yeah,
so-
exactly. That's the best. I love that she's cutting his hair and he's got that like it's wet. And it's just, he's so in such a vulnerable moment there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he
Because
keeps
it
saying
also
ow.
says
He keeps saying ow. He's like ow, ow.
yeah, but it's also like he's vain in that way, which I
Yeah.
think is really, it's a little subtle thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like a horror movie though when she's like when it's silent and then all of a sudden it's like he's standing there because like you realize they don't show
'cause
him
the way
walking
it showed
in.
it, the
yeah.
way he
all
like
of a sudden
appears.
he's there and you're like, oh, what's happening? Oh, he's
Yeah.
standing there, and that's like this disarming for them because they didn't expect to see this person.
And again, it's like that this guy has the capability
yeah,
to destroy, and I think it's playing with that idea.
Punch Drunk Love, when I first saw it, I was in my early 20s, and I really didn't connect with it. Like, I loved Magnolia and Boogie Nights. I thought they were amazing, but I couldn't connect with, I think, Barry Egan's character. And actually, when we started this podcast idea, I was like, oh no, someone's gonna pick Punch Drunk Love, and I'm gonna have to. I don't really like this movie. And then what's fascinating is you picked it, and then I rewatched it when you picked it, last month or 6 weeks ago or whatever. And I completely fell in love with it. Yeah. And it's 20 years later, and I just thought it was so fascinating that now I'm oh, Barry Egan's this fully realized character. And I think that he always was, but I think for me, I couldn't connect with him 20 years ago. So therefore I didn't really like the movie. But now it's the whole the fact, the aching longing to connect, the self-awareness that you might not be like everybody else. Mm-hmm. I get him now. And I think for a lot of us, we've been him. So I guess my question is to you, has your view of Barry's character changed over time? And then also, that ever happened to you? Have you seen a movie and maybe didn't connect with it, but because your own life experiences, you completely saw it differently later in life?
When I saw it, I was not... Let's say I wasn't the most popular, So I was a very isolated kid, and I definitely wasn't I wasn't very outgoing. I did stand-up comedy and stuff, but I wasn't outgoing, So that was my way of being outgoing, was going and pretending to be somebody else. So in that sense, I was very awkward, and I really could relate to that part of him instantly. And now when I see it now, I just realize, how much deeper it actually is. Specifically, yes, after knowing Sandler and understanding where it is and where he's coming from, and just I have a deeper appreciation of it, even more so, now. So it's only grown for me. It's been the opposite of yours, but not. But then again, it's I think that for me it was Five Easy Pieces. That was the movie that came. I remember seeing that as a kid and just being like, "What the is this?" This, because I remember I saw that one little clip with the toast, and I thought, "Oh, that's funny." But then I watched the movie and I was just like, "What is this?" Because it's not for kids. I don't know why I was able to even watch it, but I remember watching it and just being like, "This is weird." I didn't get it. It was very strange to me. But then I saw it as an adult and I was like, "Oh, okay." There's a lot here. There's a lot of he's a complicated character and then it was then I of course then after I saw it later I'm I'm gonna watch. I love the honking. It's my favorite. I would ask you guys to add it in, but then it's then I see Stay Hungry. The other Raffleson. So that's one of them. And then I'm trying to think of another. But I think a lot of it is you go in thinking. When you go in with a preconceived notion of what you're going to get from a movie, totally. That's usually when you have a bad reaction to it, is when you think it's going to be one thing and then it's different. Then you're like, oh, well, that's not what your headspace is thrown off, So then when you go into it and you're like, okay, I'm going to reanalyze this however many years later, and you watch it after seeing all these other things and just understanding life in different ways, then you watch it fresh. And you're like, oh, wow, I get that.
Yeah, I just connected more. And thank you for picking this movie because it made me now I'm just such a fan. And I'm so happy I got to I rediscover it. And now I'm and love it.
You can also pick out moments, rewatch moments, and the whole movie floods back to you, which I think is always great because that just means it's a part of you. So when you see a moment and you're just you fill in the blanks of the rest of it. That's
a great way to look at it.
Yeah, that's how I look at a lot of Paul's movies, but this one in particular, I know oh yeah, when he breaks the thing, it's an older model or whatever. It's just there's certain things that you can see parts.
The plunger. Which isn't a fun plunger. I think it's a fiberglass plunger. I think that's
and I've seen one, and I've seen one for sale. It's a real thing. These clear. I saw one at a 99-cent store, and I was like, oh my God, that's the clear handle plunger. There it is.
He's so quick. Oh, this must be an older model.
And right next to it were little cups of pudding where you could get frequent flyer miles underneath it. So it's like the best 99-cent store ever.
The thing is like that's another part of my it's like another part of my personality that I could relate to the character for. Is like, how can I, like, you're trying to find deals and all these different places. That was like a part of me, you know? And it was like I would have become like obsessive about certain things of like, all right, if I make this amount here, it pays for this thing. Like, you break it down into like, that's how your brain my brain works. It's like, okay, if I make this, I'm spending a lot of time on this, but then that's $5, and then that $5 pays for this thing, and you kind of can like rationalize a lot of different things, and I like that he finds that, and then he finds the loophole. I love that.
Yeah, I love it too. I also didn't know that was a real true, based on a true story.
Yes, that people would look for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, there was a real guy who took advantage of these frequent flyer miles for the Healthy Choice and got over
amazing.
1 million miles. Healthy Choice was like, it was
amazing.
a real promotion, and they said, use it. It's great. It also just shows that how smart he is and how observant he is. That he came up with this. Wait, the pudding, this, and then he questions it. He's like, so has integrity that he's like, do you understand that this maybe?
Yeah, he's trying. Well, he wants to make sure that it's actually what they're saying.
Yeah,
because it's like he knows that he's going to get into a position where if I'm going to make this make this investment, I better make sure it's real.
In our That's That finishing our closing, just want to see, is there anything that you feel like closing thoughts you had, anything we didn't get to that you want to discuss?
No, I feel like we talked about almost everything, but again, I do just want to say that, everybody, all of the other characters, everybody's meaningful in them. Like Luis Guzman is so great and so such a good guy. Yeah, and it's just there's so many. It's just everybody really does their part in these movies, and I think that's just what he does so well is he really just gives everybody their moment in a way that is true to them, as an actor and as a person. And so it's just, and there's some shots that are so beautiful, like the silhouette in front of the beach, when they finally meet.
Great shot.
It's like there's all these just really heartfelt. It's not ironic, there is I really believe that there's joy in seeing them come together, and it's relishing in that. And I think that that's really beautiful.
Yeah. And I think knowing that maybe he is going to be able to travel with her now around the world and with these miles and stuff.
It's unbelievable.
Exactly. And those lines, even I sometimes cry a lot for no reason. I mean, there's just those.
Oh, what about
lines.
when they're talking about beating each other up and eating? It's great.
Amazing. We had so much fun having this conversation with you.
This was like the perfect way to start my day,
Oh, that makes us feel great. This is exactly when we came up with the idea for this podcast. This is exactly the kind of conversations we wanted to have. I
wish that this would happen to me more. Watch this movie again and let's talk about it, because then it really. It's like a book club in a way.
I love it too, and also you getting me to see a movie and completely reevaluate it.
Yeah,
I didn't expect that. Like I said, I was kind of dreading. I'm like, someone's gonna pick this movie, and then you did, and then I'm like, I love it so much, and now it's and it's always gonna be Benny Safdie got me to see this movie again.
Except in book club, nobody ever actually reads the book, and we all.
That's
watch
right.
The
I know that. Well, that now you have to have the conversation afterwards. That's the important part.
That's the important part.
You have to have a date where you get along and you talk about it and it's recorded.
Okay, great.
That's it.
Thank you, and that's it. Have a great day. Thanks so much.
Wasn't Benny amazing? The thing is, there is so much more to that conversation.
Yeah, movie nerds, I see you because I'm one of you. So I see you right here. If you want the full audio version of this conversation, you can get it wherever you get your podcasts.
That's that. Bye-bye.
That's that.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's that.